Where you host your Drupal site this year will dictate two things: who legally controls your data and how quickly you burn through your budget. Drupal 11 is built for heavy lifting. It is engineered specifically to run massive, highly secure government portals and global nonprofit networks. Consider the Voice of America. Their infrastructure processes 1.2 billion hits every single month on Drupal. Handling that volume requires a highly specific environment. We are talking about PHP 8.3 with JIT compilation, NVMe storage for fast database reads, and a dedicated object cache like Redis. If you try to force those complex baseline requirements onto a cheap shared hosting plan, your site will grind to a halt the moment traffic spikes. For over a decade, development teams have been stuck deciding between operational comfort and infrastructure control. This chart shows exactly where the market has been. If you go with a fully managed platform like Acquia or Pantheon, you get excellent, ready-to-use workflows, but you pay a severe premium for that convenience. On the other side, you can spin up your own cloud servers. You avoid the platform markup entirely, but you have to hire a full-time DevOps engineer to prevent the site from going down. A third path has emerged called hybrid orchestration. Platforms like devPanel separate the orchestration software from the infrastructure billing. Keeping those two things separate, who manages the servers and who actually bills you for them, is the most effective way to lower your costs without losing control. This comparison matrix breaks down the actual trade-offs of the top 4 hosting models. If you look at Acquia, their primary value is strict compliance. They have robust support for FedRAMP, HIPAA, and ISO standards out of the box, but that level of governance comes with the highest platform markup in the industry.
Unless your auditors specifically mandate it, it is a tough expense to justify. Pantheon takes a different approach. Their architecture delivers a polished developer experience with seamless dev, test, and live environments. The catch is their walled garden. On their infrastructure, you cannot apply your own AWS credits or integrate with custom Lambda functions. Both platforms offer real convenience, but they extract a heavy strategic tax by trapping your infrastructure inside their proprietary ecosystems. Then there is the raw cloud route, like spinning up a DigitalOcean droplet. For a small personal project or a staging environment, the price-to-performance ratio here is unbeatable. But for a production workload, it is entirely DIY. Multi-zone failover, automated backups, and security hardening are all your responsibility. Saving a few $100s a month on hosting fees will quickly cost you thousands in either dedicated engineering salaries or catastrophic downtime. Hybrid orchestration works differently. Instead of hosting your site on their servers, platforms like devPanel connect directly to your existing AWS or Azure account and build the production environment right inside it. This bar chart illustrates how legacy pricing actually works. Out of a $1,000 monthly bill, only about $150 goes toward the actual infrastructure. The rest is an undisclosed platform markup. devPanel eliminates that markup. You pay your cloud provider directly for the raw compute, while still getting PaaS-level automation like one-click deployments and cloud IDEs. The trade-off is administrative. You have to set up and maintain the primary billing relationship directly with AWS, Azure, or DigitalOcean. By keeping the infrastructure in your own account, you completely isolate your site from noisy neighbors and maintain total sovereignty over your data. This flowchart maps out how to match your specific organizational constraints to the right platform. If your primary constraint is strict regulatory compliance, your path branches toward either Acquia or devPanel Enterprise. Large government entities and healthcare organizations rely on these two specific solutions to meet FedRAMP standards and guarantee legal data sovereignty. If you are an agency managing 5 or more client sites, your primary constraint is protecting your profit margins. devPanel allows agencies to consolidate dozens of those client sites onto a single self-healing AWS cluster, effectively eradicating per-site hosting fees. For both agencies and enterprises, handing over control of the underlying infrastructure is a quick way to bleed budget and limit how efficiently you can scale. For startups and nonprofits that have access to AWS Activate or Imagine grants, the equation changes again. Because your servers live in your own AWS account, you can apply those grants directly to your bill. You get an enterprise-grade, auto-scaling environment for virtually zero out-of-pocket cost. Finally, if you are just running a single, small project where an occasional outage will not hurt your bottom line, a raw DigitalOcean droplet makes perfect sense.
The defining advantage of bringing your own cloud is that you are never held hostage. You can disconnect the orchestration platform at any time, and your servers will keep running. Choosing the right Drupal hosting comes down to ownership. The most effective platform is the one that gives you total control over your own infrastructure and your own economics.